Hello, hey, ladies and gentlemen. A good midday afternoon to you, and a welcome in to another episode again, I can boldly say, of my almost 500 strong who listen to this podcast here, where we live life and adopt a philosophy that is a different view. Today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna get funky. A little bit of some of the things I may or may not say today might not be for the babies. So y'all gotta buckle in, right? As we are a couple days away from 1 year of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, I do not mean to fit in the status quo. I could care less for that which certain organizations have been made that are robbing and hurting people. Whether we like to do the happy dance in our mind that at the core, we believe that they care on some kind of level. Again, the proof of the pudding, as Big Mama used to say, is in the eating. You can tell me all day long how much you care about me, but if you're not showing me Jesus, I don't know you. See, when you got to start adopting the attitude of your creator. We don't do the fake, we don't do the phony, we don't do the cap over here. Okay? Folks want to sit there and follow after different people that they believe to show them the way. There is one way pointer, okay? There is one above us all, the firstborn. The first begotten of many, man, and everything else is coming after. That's got to match up to that. If it does not, I don't want it, man. And what you find a lot today, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of conjecture. We've gone over that word. Check out some of my old episodes when we talk about conspiracy and the word conjecture. Okay, we keep using words and things, and we're not paying to the definition, not paying attention to the definition of it, and we're getting caught off on it. We're gonna go into some more words. Hopefully today. So Acolyte, because Star Wars Acolyte has just dropped on Disney Plus. Now I have not gotten into it because I am very, and rest is another one of these that we will have a conversation about today, y'all, because I was in a conversation with a buddy of mine, one of the day ones here, on a different view, and we got into that topic of rest off the last episode that we talking about dreaming and how your body, looking at the definition of the word dream. Let me see if I still got it here. I believe I do. Let's see, I may or may not, but it's only a couple clicks away, right? It is only a couple clicks away on your computer, man. Don't let people tell you this information hard to find and you going down rabbit holes. Do not believe the mess they tell you. A series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. So the conversation came up. Hey, KJ, what if you're like sitting, right? And you're just sitting watching TV. Are you sleeping? Are you at rest? Because that's what sleep deals with, ladies and gentlemen, right? Let's not beat around the bush. It's dealing with your body resting. It's dealing with the whole of you resting, okay? So are you at rest when you're sitting on the couch for about 8 hours sucking down that TV? No, you're not at rest. Your body's not moving. See, somewhere along the line, what do you believe, right? This is the challenge that we did in that Halloween episode, y'all. What do you believe? So they have thrown out a lot of information to you. And sometimes you can stimulate is one of these words that's out there. And you almost cause yourself to be hyped up a little bit in what you're thinking. Again, like the Bible talks about not thinking more highly of a thing than you should. There's certain things you should give thought to. Some of this stuff is a serious thing, right? Rest. Ceasing work or movement in order to what? This is coming from Oxford's dictionary. In order to relax. See, ladies and gentlemen, even though your body is not moving, that doesn't mean you're relaxed. See, you have accepted a life here built, as we say on this podcast, by Massa, okay? The adversary, which we will get in that verse one day. We like the whole thing. Again, anything you see robbing, killing, stealing, and destroying in your life, y'all, that is the clear indication of what's going on. It's a little different than the things that you will go through in life because, again, and we always go through this when we keep getting on these topics of Jeez, it's been so long since I said it, I don't even really say the word that much. Predestination, there you go. We get on this predestination and what's God's will and all this kind of stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is boiled down very simple. Can I say it one time for my almost 500 people playing and listening to this thing, yo? Life is simple, people make it complicated. God made life simple, people make it complicated. I don't know how else to say it. I know folks got a problem with nudity. Listen, okay? You look the other way, right? See, again, what happens is, and even as I'm talking about it, I get it, because you hear the defenses in the mind. Man, listen, at the end of the day, okay, yeah, so there's some things that are sacred, or there's some things that are sacred to you. Are you knocking the rest of the planet that was going around nude? Was they in sin, y'all? What do we say? See, again, what we're doing is, hey, KJ, I'm not okay with this, so we're going to say that all this is not okay. No, it's not okay for y'all. Or whoever the ones are that don't, and that's okay. That's okay, but this thing we go into now where it's like, nuke it all. Like, we're going to get into this whole thing about the X-Men, man, because this episode, Life, Death, Part 1, ooh, man. Whew. We're going to play a clip here. But just to finish off this and to get on, because we got a couple things to talk about today, y'all. So, movement in order to relax, man. Your body just relax, refresh oneself, okay? And see, a lot of these things just lost on people. You don't know what that looks like. Because, again, the reality you've built, Master's telling you how to do it. They're the ones telling you only need a couple hours when you go back and forth between work sessions. Everybody's body don't work that way, man. You need longer than that. Especially if you put in more work than that, you need longer than that to rest. But because we don't have we don't bond together quick enough to have the bargaining chip to bring before them like they did during Labor Day, y'all, we get nothing. That's how this works. Excuse me. I was looking on Instagram and looking at one of his brother's images here, and you got people shooting each other in broad daylight in the neighborhood. Y'all, what are we doing? Broad daylight? This is what you're doing with guns? Talking to my black brothers and sisters. What are we doing, man? And this don't just go for listen. Let's not even. Yeah. Do you want to tell me in the higher populations where this mess is occurring, it's happening more frequently? That's fine. But again, y'all, we already spoke on this podcast about how white people get shot down by the cops, man, and what the percentage is when you look at it over a certain amount of years. It's wild, y'all. This thing is spread to everybody. We got heads of, like I always say on this podcast, we got heads of the class of this thing, but it don't. Come on now. We in Caribbean Heritage Month. Well, shout out one time to my islanders, man. Haitians, Jamaicans, Dominicans, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, man. It was wild when I found out that the word Puerto Rico means rich port. So whenever these people came, when Spain came calling us, this is what you named it? And, hey, my Latin brothers and sisters, my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, y'all talk to me, man. Shoot me some. I know I got some who listen on this podcast. Shoot me some stuff, man. Let's have a conversation. Let's educate each other. Let's get the knowledge out there. It's time for it to be done, man. Brother, sister, it's time for this mess to be over. This has gone on too long, man. And the way they staring it down, this is going to go on further and further generations. Nah, man, it's time to take the stand, y'all. All right? It's time to take the stand, just like in court. And it's time to give that, as we have spoken on this podcast about apologetic, your case. Come on now. This is your case why people need to be free and at peace. This is the time, y'all. This is the time. We're here in Pride Month, y'all. Shout out to those of the LGBTQ plus community. I know who it rattles. I know who it rattles. But y'all, hey, love is love now. And if we're gonna sit now, you, come on, KJ, you sucking down that liberal, blah blah. No, this ain't got nothing to do with conservative and liberal. Why we keep using these terms that Massa gives us? It's how a person thinks. You look at the definitions of each one of these words. One is dealing with things more traditional. The other one is not. It doesn't matter. They both have a seat at the table. Y'all see, just like homosexuals and transgender folk. Y'all got a seat at the table. What? You know what? Again, life has proven we keep doing this happy dance. So guess what? Since everybody is thinking that this thing is working right, keep on rolling with it. Because again, time is the one that's undefeated here, man. Made by the creator, by the way. And proves when we all go dead and gone that the same things we're doing here, because we're not walking in love with each other and walking hand in hand. You can let people be at peace with something you don't believe with them with, but that don't mean you can't band together for them in times of need, y'all. What are we doing? Because it's something that binds us all, man. Come on. The Satanists ain't got nothing to say to the Christian, but in the time of need, there's something that y'all both believe in. That's for sure. Because you're both believing in something. Anyway. So let's go on here to some of these topics as we hit right around 10, 11 minutes. So the WNBA. Sport time, right? We in June. It's getting to the NBA Finals. Whoever you care for or don't like, again, as we have said before about certain things, the real winner in all of this is the NBA. Not even the players. I know where y'all gonna go in your mind with it. Not the players, the NBA. It's the owners of these players, man. This is why I shout out to the Negro Leagues. That can never be undone. Them brothers set a precedent that can never be unbroken. Because you said you want to exclude us. We go as Juneteenth comes closer and closer here. Is another part of Black history. We're going to talk about this on this podcast, y'all. You can't. Human history down to 1 month. Is that what you... Neglected human history. No different than the Negro Leagues, because people just... This is actually a good time to talk about this since we're on it right now before we go back into the WNBA. See, again, we DID is a real thing, y'all. You hear me say it on this podcast a lot. And no, I'm no psychologist, but you can see a thing from a mile away, y'all. You can see a mile of thing. There's something I put on my Facebook page as I'm scrolling back up here. This whole idea of your ancestors, man. We don't forgot about that. We don't forgot about the knowledge of Big Mama. Like one of these things that came to my mind for one, as I had heard it on another brother's podcast, kind of stirred my memory. So we're talking about your memory, man. Why do you have to buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Hopefully, I don't know if I said this before or not, but if I did, it bears repetition, because repetition is necessary for learning, right? Why you need the cow when you're getting the thing you need for free? Y'all need to stand up more for yourselves, man, and stop. You talk about cash or pearls before swine. This is what we're talking about. Not self-pleasure. Okay? You want to tell me there's certain ways where that thing goes out of balance, again, like anything else, then yeah, that would be an issue, though, with anything. It's not just that, right? Again, if you disagree in a thing, that's fine. We have the right to disagree. Don't sit there and tell everybody else it's wrong, man. What are you doing? You see it's wrong, you go with it. That's it. But anyway, grandparents and your greats and your, as I say, griggity greats, literally the way they did this thing here on Original Africa Spirituality. And as I say that, y'all take it for what it is. But as I reposted it here, all the way back, and we're talking about all the way, right? So let's see if I can find this thing here from this dear sister. Thank God for the boldness. Yeah, here it is. The article reads, this is from ESPN.com. I want to say yesterday. See, again, this is the same spirit in which they shut us out of the schools. Talking specifically to all peoples, most specifically, again, specific in general speech, so specifically talking to two groups of people. There's others involved here, but two groups that keep playing against themselves instead of banding together, thinking that massa is, again, the adversary of the brethren, right? Of people. That y'all think this makes sense. It don't make sense to keep fighting unnecessarily against things that don't mean anything. So when we're talking about a game, I understand there's people who have put their all into this game. But again, when you exclude one group of people, it's very hard. This is how you know the compassion part is gone. It's very hard for people to grasp this when you were looking at it from a different perspective. Okay. Facebook group lashes out as Ty Cobb loses the MLB batting record. Why are you mad? These people were playing the same game. Matter of fact, when you look across the Negro Leagues, as many times that they played their own MLB rivals and played them well, if not beat them, y'all. They had to form their own organization because the organization that could have helped them organize said they didn't want them anymore. And then you have people shine through this thing like Hank Thompson, Buck O'Neil, Josh Gibson, and Satchel Paige, and Larry Doby, to name a few, y'all. Most of my Yankee fans, y'all watched El Duque, didn't you? Don't you remember all that stuff they was talking about that man's age and how old he was? It was the same thing happening with Satchel Paige all those years ago. How do we deny these kind of things unless you just don't want to pay attention to what's going on? But guess what? When another group of people do not profit, guess what it does? It affects the profit of everybody. Had you included the Negro Leagues back then, you would have doubled your profits. You're not thinking. But it's okay, because again, you don't want us around. We can go make our own money. Y'all do your own thing, and everyone is living in peace. You see? This is how the game works, man. It's unfortunate we can't live, that some choose, I should say it that way, because we can, we're choosing not to. It's unfortunate people don't want to live in peace, man, but this is where we're at, y'all. This is where we're at. Thank God for Ty Cobb's granddaughter. And do you know what happened on the page of which this girl belongs to? The dude who said the following. This is talking about putting Josh Gibson as the number one on not on base percentage, batting average in the major leagues. The man earned his stuff, y'all. Why are we doing that? What, because he wasn't facing whoever the top pitchers were back then? But you excluded him from the game. Yet all the way down now, it's okay for y'all. And I know, because you got your diehards out there with baseball here. Oh, Barry Bonds and them, they shouldn't be in there neither. But they in there, ain't they? The league put them in there. So if you could put folks that was taking elements that help the body regenerate quicker so you can continue to hit baseballs and stuff like that, because that's what this deals with. It's not like, giving you super soldier serum type stuff where your eyes can see the break in the pitches and all that. And again, for those who don't pay attention to baseball, just hang in there for a second. I understand. Just talking to my baseball heads out here for 1 minute, man. The sport folks, right? Guys, it's helping the body regenerate. That's what's so dangerous about the steroid thing. Not to mention the harm that could be done to the players themselves, their own health. We've seen this in football, y'all. See, I told you I could talk about sports. We've seen this in football with this, man, and how you got to hit people because folks started turning into animals, man. Oh, no, come on, man. You could go back in the day and you could see, Charles Haley, and you can go back and, you see the, what's his name? You see Howie Long, man, and them Raiders teams, and they was killing folks. What does that have anything to do with how to do a thing on the field, y'all? See again, we buy into certain stuff. This all's tying into this WNBA thing, by the way. Why do we have to go that route, y'all? Can we choose another way? Oh, it's going to be like that. We're sissifying everything. That's the next thing where everybody go, we sissifying everything, man. We just might as well not play the game. My question is, why did y'all turn the game into what that is, man? Ain't nobody. So, again, to put fans' butts in the seats, to put your asses in the chairs, again, of which you're enriching massa at the cost of other people that they excluded from these sports. Y'all want to sit there and see such mindless violence like that to tell me what's wrong in the brain? It ain't about just passing and tackling and going to the next play. We got to turn this thing into a gladiator arena. Yeah. Yeah, man. What's it supposed to turn into? Like extreme baseball next? What are we? Yeah. Again, this is not to take away from that, which is the violent element of these sports. We understand all of this, guys. But if you're telling me you can't do this at the expense of the player and for them to not get paid for it, have you ever listened to how people talk when you start bringing up this kind of stuff? Oh, they shouldn't get paid no way. Bunch of babies, blah, 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 blah. What do we do? Never mind. Never mind, man. You can't even go outside and play games no more. This thing got to turn into a death race. Y'all remember that movie, Death Race? Think of that Jason Statham, a bunch of other people in there, man. Like, what do we? Sock him and bop him went away to like slash him and dash him and kill him. Remember what? Never mind, man. Never mind. No, this is no. So this is what this guy who owns is Wesley Fricks, who has a Ty Cobb, who's a self-described Ty Cobb historian. This is right on ESPN.com. The reporter here, Michael A. Fletcher. This is the most drunken farce that I've ever witnessed in professional sports. Like, what, bro? What are you even saying? Drunken farce? What's fake about it? Hold on, because if a farce deals with the word fake, by the way, y'all. If where's the drunken fakeness in that? Because again, these brothers was doing this, man. They was doing it to major league players. I know nobody studies the thing because they're telling you not to. Go look. See, this is the cool thing about playing MLB The Show, which I'm pretty sure somehow, some way they're gonna stop this on some level, because you can't let the cat out of the bag, y'all. Everywhere on the planet, the dark skin tone folks been doing it, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for who that offends, right? But let's just start giving people their due instead of acting like this thing is too damn taboo. What? So Cindy Cobb, 67-year-old granddaughter of Ty Cobb, again, whose 63.67 lifetime batting average was replaced with Josh Gibson's 3.72 over 16 years, and however people gonna go about that, okay? This dude who has this page of over 2,000 plus members, this girl goes to speak up and speak out, y'all. I'm telling you, it's time, man. The other, see, again, we're not wrestling solely against flesh and blood. Is what's in the mind. Forget about fighting people. That mess is pseudo, man. If we talking about a peer, which then makes decisions in your towns and municipalities, this is where you got to get in your mind, man. Magistrates is an old school word here. That's just dealing with the people who are put in place to rule for massive stuff. That's what, as far as a legal concern is, as far as legality, speech is concerned. Okay. Court ordered person by the law. That's it. You were in between. Okay. These people thinking that they high and mighty. No. People got a seat at the table, y'all. What are we doing? Excuse me. So let's see what she wound up saying. I'm not even going to read some of these people's stuff here because they say some very, very disparaging stuff here. Let's see. Let's see if I can find what she said. Okay. Arguing in her post that her grandfather, who was in the Hall of Fame's inaugural class in 1936, would have embraced the changes. She added that it was undeniable that ball players from the Negro Leagues enjoyed few of the privileges afforded her grandfather, which is the truth. They excluded him from playing in the game. Y'all would have seen some of the greatest players in the game. I know y'all like to believe the other way around. Oh, no, they wouldn't have performed this, that, and the other. Okay. Yay. Y'all go with it. Again, I'm telling you, if everybody's cool with the way this is, man, y'all keep going with the way it's going. We gonna find out how it works, man. Hey. For that, Cobb asserted, and she was kicked out of the group June 1st, 3 days after the major leagues did their thing. Now again, some folks wind up saying some real silly stuff here. Basically what she says back on this other person here. And again, so there's certain things in this article I'm staying away from because it fires off too many defenses in the mind because people they're not fully thinking it through, which is fine because it's your choice. But she was left wounded by the reaction. I made a post speaking to the inequities of the past. Now, again, you say in the past, it affects the future, but that's besides the point. Saying that because, see, again, what you couldn't get together back then, we got to still deal with now. And y'all sit there, especially Christians do this, saying how this is a God-fearing nation. What God-fearing nation when y'all are the ones who agreed upon that it made sense for this mess to begin these lands that you still won't speak out against correctly. You do a little sermon here and there in hit spots. We talking about stand up and be counted for. I'm sorry, y'all. I know there's times where I get excited on the thing and all that, but this is where this is at, y'all. We love each other, love of God, all this stuff. The 2 and 2 ain't adding up. You know what I mean? He had opportunities that black men did not have. Inequities of the past, saying that because my grandfather was a white man playing in the NBA, he had opportunities that black men did not have. She said in a phone interview, then I was harassed and verbally abused. That's it. Which is what normally goes on online. That don't make online wrong, y'all. See, it's social media because everybody keyboard strong. No, people also hide behind the gun too, by the way. They hide behind anything that makes it less to do what you got to do. Nobody's willing to put themselves truly out there, y'all. Get these same people to speak for the fact of the inequities that were going on, the inequality with the Negro where it comes to baseball. But see, again, we're talking about precedents. And when you do something, you set the precedent for a thing. So now y'all kids deal with it today. Here we go into this. We're about 27 minutes in. We're going to try to just hit some high points here and we all going to go on about our day. So here we go with this one. This is another one here dealing in the WNBA.
There are so many layers in this conversation around the way that it's being discussed. You guys may not have said everybody, but the prevailing sentiment for folks that are just joining the WNBA and following women's sports is unfair to the women of this league, to your point, who have laid the groundwork for Caitlin Clark to come in and now take it to the next level. That's all I'm saying in these conversations. Kennedy Carter's behavior is not indicative of the entire league. We are still talking about competition where you are allowed to get a little extra elbow in if you are competing and you do it within the parameters of the game. The game is physical. Caitlin is helping to grow the league. These women understand that, but she cannot be babied as a rookie. That's all I'm at.
All right.
Who talks about the WNBA? Who talks about women? Who talks about women's sports more than first take? Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. There's something about Stephen A. Smith, man, that just, for as much as this brother does so much in the community for Black Americans, I just wonder sometimes, for Black folks, if you want to say it that way, right? What in the world? What are we doing, y'all? So this dear sister, Caitlin Clark. Now, come on, we had already mentioned this before. I knew we knew this was going to go here. Okay, so it is what it is. Again, as we begin to wrap up here, we gotta understand that this is a little too much, y'all. This again, you take any of the main talent in sports across all the venues of sports, and they have gone through some wild stuff, man. We talking about now again. See, this is kind of going back to what we were talking about here. This idea of this, what people will call babying or sissifying sports and stuff like that, as far as violence is concerned. But understand, this is one of these. This is what happens now. So again, the precedent is set that you have somebody who comes to the league that you know is going to make it money, What do you do to that person? You beat him up. You beat him up to prove it. Why are we doing that? Again, we're talking about let people in the competition. Because this is clearly a competition. This has nothing to do with sharing, right? If you want to make this competition balanced, which is, again, why it wouldn't work anyway, because people don't want to do that. And this is why you got to separate and come away from this mess, y'all. You got to redo your own thing. Like, this is what, because again, fundamentally, the way this thing is made, it's made to keep Xing off people until no one is left. That's the game. Okay. Yeah, is fouling people hard and excessively hard and all that kind of thing? Yeah, that's wrong, y'all. Again, another part here with Angel Reese, because there's a whole other thing here with Angel Reese, which I'm not going to get into, but it's the same kind of idea, okay? So how many loudmouth people we seen in the NBA mouth off, right? Dennis Rodman. Most recently is Draymond Green, right? You've had boisterous people through the NBA forever. They're going to say whatever, right? What is it about Angel Reese now that you got to do this kind of thing? We just asking a question, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because she's the hot star on the block. So does how you talk and how you act toward referees and games and all that kind of thing. We are making the distinctions for what we think is right and wrong. Some bench warmer somewhere, we're not gonna go that crazy with it. We do, but it's not the same as the main star in talent because we hold them to a higher standard. Why do you do that? Oh, the higher star, the higher. No. So you're going after that which is from massa. Everybody get the same thing. So yes, there are levels to this thing, yes. But this kind of idea where we can this is how you open the door for letting one pass and one let slide through some actions they do because they a star and stuff. No. You don't. Everybody is held to the same thing. See, we read this verse in the Bible here, right? Talking about working for the homeowner. Jesus not sitting there giving, because this one in the public eye. No, you're all held to the same standard. That's the beauty of this thing when you're not doing greed, man. It don't matter whether you're the president of the United States or the janitor of some, unranked school somewhere in this nation. The same thing is the same thing. Again, we make certain distinctions. We go a little too forward. And now you want to tell me because the president of the United States is the president of the United States, there are certain things you hold to. Okay, fine. But you don't forget the base element. We're all held to the same thing here. And because we keep playing that patty cake game with that, this is why we suck down as much. This is why we open the door for them to abuse us, y'all. This is what it is. You got to drop a lot of these silly divisions we keep making. I don't, That X-Men thing, man, that thing was big, man. As we, where are we at? 32 minutes? We'll stop at 40. I know I said this and the other, but it has to be spoken about since we're already in a certain topic. So let's go with it, y'all. Let's go with it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep the good train rolling. Let's go. So just to give a little bit of backdrop of this, what you're hearing, because y'all are just hearing noises, right? So we're talking this X-Men cartoon, which is just like we're talking about this life-death thing, right? Okay. Understand that there's a cost that comes with these things. We talked about this with the Civil War movie. There's a cost that comes when people are just not doing this thing together. They want to be at odds just to be at odds. Because you can make all the excuses all you want all day long. At the end of the day, it just boils down to you can just walk off the battlefield with the thing. Meanwhile, right, when you hold a certain thing, you tell the other person, well, y'all can just walk in. See, again, nobody just wants to walk hand in hand across the battlefield. You got to keep fighting. Hence where your demise is. Because you won't let go. You won't lift up those that you know have been brought down. And the ones brought down are going to defend themselves. This is the dynamic, y'all. Because you're going against that which the Creator has designed for us to live and walk in peace. This goes with different religious battles. See, again, you've seen it with the Crusades. I know what I'm going to get with Christians. Again, protection of land and forcing Christianity, two different things. And we need to be more honest about that forcing Christianity part. You got the partition over in India. That's a problem, yo. No. Even if that is an outside thing, now it's sown division. No different than you see in Christianity over here in North America. Then it's sown division with the Buddhist and the Hindu and the Sikh. Y'all started a war there with these people by trying to manipulate their belief differences. How dare you, man? How dare you? All these types of things affect you all the way down to your pocketbook, y'all. That's why you got this economy the way it is. That's why you got that inflation the way it is. And that's why you pay for it out of your pocket. Until you let go of this mess, you're going to keep paying for it out your pocket too. And more than that. And because of things like this, you got like a depiction of this in this X-Men cartoon. Okay, so we're just going to let it roll, let it play a little bit more. And then we're going to get into what is talked about right at the end here. So let's go.
Mutant intruder neutralized.
Nope, you're in trouble.
The name's Gambit. On me. Remember it.
Regardless of your stance on recent world events, the images you're about to see may be disturbing.
Sugar. I can't feel you.
So here's the things, ladies and gentlemen. For those of y'all who have watched the X-Men #1, maybe I should have warned you on that. If not, you're going to see it anyway. And if not, this is still a teaching tool right now. Y'all watch the X-Men cartoon to give reference. The two people talking in the end, the one girl crying is Rogue. Rogue's mutant power is to be able to absorb someone by the touch. Which also sucks for her on the back end because it's hard for her to have a romantic relationship. And Lord knows there's metaphor there with folks because they got problems on the inside of them that's stopping them from being able to truly touch the people they want to be around. And you got to let go of some things so that you can touch the people that you want to be around. Right? That you need to be around. Remove those blinders, y'all. Because again, your life is on the line. These people are living on an island here in this cartoon called Genosha. It's a thing they pull from Marvel Comics. A hideaway for mutants, man. You ain't got to deal with the persecution from humans. You can live in peace. And they brought war to their island, Joe. I wonder where we have seen that before. I wonder where in human history we've seen that before. Guys, we're playing a dangerous game here. And our loved ones' lives are on the line, where they have to make sacrifices. That's what Gambit was doing. Rogue and Gambit over the old cartoon develop a romance. They do. They play back and forth. He is the scoundrel, and we all know a bunch of men and women who have that rogue kind of, to rob some phrases here from the X-Men comics, they got that rogue kind of thing, right? Gambit is that rogue. And then Rogue is the belle of the party, y'all. We all know, right? We all know this is a romance story that's been told over and over through human history because that's what it is. That's one of the personality types, okay? Or I should say two of the personality types. Ladies and gentlemen, she lost the love of her life, sacrificing in a war and in an attack that should never have been, because two sides should leave each other in peace. You got one having to defend themselves against the other trying to kill them. When are we going to get it, y'all? It don't matter whether they were mutant or not. You see, it doesn't matter whether they're homosexual or transgender or not. Leave them alone in peace. And the inability to do it is the doom of humanity, y'all. This is as real as it can. Yo, shout out to Stan Lee for standing up and making a comic to talk about life. in the most imaginative way possible that if you're not paying attention, you'll walk right past it. I'm waiting for the government to get involved and remove the X-Men comic. A whole lot of Marvel stuff. Because people got a problem. And they're still stuck on them same differences today. I hear it all the time. Y'all don't understand how you're playing into masters. You want to see this stuff on TV. See, that's the problem. Because it's been hidden from life. They push them people to the side in their family. They don't want to see them anywhere. Hell, they'll send them all the way off somewhere. That's how bad it is. You talk to some of your old family members when somebody would get pregnant with what they called a mulatto baby, a mixed child. You talk to me about where they put them. you talk to me about what their answer is they will give you from where they put them. It's sick, y'all, what we're doing because we do not accept and respect and enhance each other's differences. That's it. Again, dress and keep this planet is what you were told in the Bible. Oh man, we're gonna keep it rolling until next time, ladies and gents. That's where we're gonna stop. I got a whole lot more info to talk about, but we will continue, man. I will end with this verse here that a brother I used to go with, talking to y'all about going to Bible school and whatnot. It was a cool little thing that he had put up. Again, putting a person in remembrance of a thing, which is Proverbs 16:24. And it talks about how your words, speaking words, of sweetness like the honeycomb, to where you can bring life. My question and my challenge that I leave to y'all today, okay, is can you add sweetness to the bitterness of this life? From what you say, from the actions you do, can you add bitterness into the sweetness of this life and make it much better than what it is right now? And we can, and we are, and we will make this thing much, much better than it is right now, I promise you. That's what I got for y'all, ladies and gentlemen, today. That's what we got today. Thank you for walking this little road here with us today. And as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.